Hi, we're here today at the Ohio Gun Collectors meeting in Hamilton, Ohio, November of 2025. I brought out some Iver Johnson Large Frame 22 revolvers. The 22 revolver up until 1930 had been usually built on a small frame by all manufacturers. Colt started the trend in 1930 by bringing out the officer's model target. Smith & Wesson followed in 31, Harrington Richardson and Iver Johnson in 32. So what I have with me today is the Iver Johnson offering that was made on really its 38 S&W frame. So they took what was a large framed revolver and made it on a 22. This is the first offering with a non-adjustable sight. These were called the Super Shots, but they were also called the Sealed 8s because with the advent of high-speed 22 ammunition in 1929, the manufacturers became worried about rim ruptures and started recessing the 22s, hence on an Iver Johnson, the Sealed 8. 1936, Iver Johnson introduced a target model called the trigger cocking. It's a very unique gun in that when you pull the trigger, you cock the gun, pull the trigger again, you have a single action firing for target work. This was a short-lived design, but very unique. The second finger support on an Iver Johnson that looks like this is actually adjustable. If you remove the grip, there's a screw that allows you then to move the second finger adjustment. Actually, it's very comfortable to be able to reposition this. Iver Johnson got a little more serious about target guns going into the Second World War and brought out the Champion. Single action only, clearly identifiable by this trigger, allowing for a lower trigger pull. Iver Johnson also retained Charles Askins Jr., top competitive shooter of the time, and he shot for them and won trophies and put out some other information. Following the war, Iver Johnson continued the Champion for a short period, but then moved into its main offering, which was the Model 833, a double single action, adjustable sight, offered with and without finger support variation. Those were popular. This particular one has an unfluted cylinder. I'm not sure why. For a short period they must have done that because they went back to fluting. Into the 1950s, Iver Johnson got a little more serious about offering target guns and wanted some more weight. So the barrel was made heavier, the cylinder was unfluted, and they brought out what is known as the Model 844. The end of production is the Armsworth model, or the Model 855, a single action variation, again identifiable by the trigger and built with heavier specifications. This gun actually shoots very nicely, and production ended in 1958 of these style of guns. While tip-ups continued, they were a different model, two-piece grips, etc. The 4.5-inch variation is a very limited production model, and you see few of those. In addition, Iver Johnson offered on the large frame a pocket target. All the manufacturers had a small 22 and they were all limited production. This was known as the Protector. There's a pre-war variation with a little different configuration in the barrel. This is a post-war variation. These are very limited production pocket 22s. This is a factory cutaway depicting the action and for use in examination by the tool room. Iver Johnson invented an interceptor block for the hammer, and they called it Hammer the Hammer, and their depiction was a hammer striking the hammer of the pistol and that the gun wouldn't discharge. The sign is a fun depiction of that. It's an original advertisement by Iver Johnson. Hope you enjoyed the 1932 to 58 Iver Johnson Large Frame 22s. Come see us at OGCA. Thanks.